This is the June 11th, 2024 Utilities Committee meeting. I'd like everyone to introduce themselves. I'm Jay Rosepepe, City Council Chair.
Eric Warden, City Council.
Heidi Fenton, City Council.
Dennis Ryan, Public Works Director.
Jackie Brown, Utility Manager.
Jeff Hagelin, Public Works Operations Manager.
We're going to go ahead and start. Mayor will probably join us later. We have a published agenda. Is there any items to add to the agenda?
No.
All right, then we'll go ahead. Utilities facilities tour. We've canceled this twice. Right now, I don't have any time on my calendar that's clear with the work that I'm doing. And with Jeff trying to get his feet on the ground, Heidi, unless you have a urgent need, I think we just hold this off till we get everything a little bit more settled.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, so we'll move on. Jackie, project updates.
Yeah, I just wanted to real quickly give you one last update on the Foster pilot project. Since we last met, we had a very productive meeting with our hydrogeological consultant and their sub consultants about the augmentation and mitigation plans. We have some potential projects that we're looking at and are putting some costs to, and I am hopeful that we will have a plan within the next couple of months and be able to share that with the tribes and the Fish and Wildlife, and then hopefully finalize our reports of examination and send this all to the State Department of Ecology for their consideration, hopefully in the fall, but at least by the end of the year. Dennis did come up with a plan that we hadn't thought about before. And I don't know, Dennis, are you prepared to talk about that real quick or?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So we're going to look at various opportunities, working with community development or Department of Community Development to help identify any potential mitigation environmental areas that could be creek restoration, natural fish blockages within our city boundaries. And that is a phase of the tier process that could give us credit for the Foster water rights decision.
That's a good idea.
More the merrier.
What's that?
I said more projects the merrier that can mitigate.
Yep.
One of the issues that we're having, and we're trying to get over this last hurdle, is that the tribes expect us to be able to do mitigation in every single stream basin. And that's not what the spirit or the wording of the Foster legislation says. And so we're kind of trying to walk a fence here, because if we deal with the letter of the law as far as Foster, then we are pretty sure that the tribe, probably 90% certain that the tribes are going to protest our application, and it's just going to bog everything down, because ecology, of course, has been sued so many times by the tribes and other environmental groups that they're kind of a bit gun shy, if you will. So we're trying to kind of walk a fence and make sure that the tribes are happy, but yet do something that's realistic, you know. And that's why we came up with this adaptive management plan, where as we need more water and start pumping harder or enacting new portions of rights, that we step up with our augmentation and mitigation strategies.
So Jackie, I have a question for you.
Okay.
You know, I know that well 11 will be coming on at what I would consider a reduced rate until we settle Foster. Is there a projection at this time, no matter how out there it is, where we could run into an issue with being able to provide water that we would need to look at any type of moratorium, or is that too far into the future now to predict?
Actually, I'm so glad you asked that question. We ourselves wanted to make sure that we weren't gonna into any problem with that. So as we are re-upping the water system plan, which is further down on our list here, as we're redoing the water system plan, we specifically asked the modelers and the planners to look at that scenario. And that is one of the reasons that I am, before I leave, applying for money to start doing the planning and engineering for intertying the two systems. And we're making sure that that is on our list of projects for the water plan, as well as a new tank on Sedgwick. With a developer doing basically the intertie between the McCormick Woods system and the city system on the south side or through Stetson Heights, and us applying for money on the north side or through Old Clifton and building a new tank, we can stretch out our need for brand new water at least to the 10-year mark. So I think we're okay. We've looked at this.
So you said it, so if I heard you right, if I could paraphrase, that basically without Foster being resolved, we probably, our water projection would get us through 2035 with current
Close.
growth projections.
Or very close to it, yes.
Okay, all right. Hopefully we could solve Foster by then.
Oh, I would hope so.
Okay, and you guys are gonna have to wave your hands behind for questions, because you guys are very small in the background there, Heidi and Eric.
Okay.
Well 11 upgrade.
Well, we've had a couple of challenges out there. We had to do a quick change order when about the drain from one of the what we call the teacups. There are two small 60,000 gallon tanks out there that basically act as settling basins where the water is pumped into those tanks and then out of the tanks through the treatment system and into the system. So we had to solve a problem there with a change order, and then it looks like we're going to have another one because we just discovered that the drain for the other tank has an issue as well. But other than that, the project is moving right along. We're just tomorrow they're going to do a quick shutdown to cut in a couple of the lines, and it looks like we're on target for that project.
Okay, so nothing's stopping work right now.
No. The only thing I did hold up the work for a couple of days but they had other work they could do, but I didn't want them doing this tie-in where we had to do a shutdown when it was 80 degrees outside.
No, I was more worried about, something that'd be more permanent in nature.
Oh.
Like it would shut it down for, where we'd have to be paying
Damages? No.
Yeah,
No.
damages. Okay.
No. The well 7 upgrade, I have finished the scope of work, and I am I'm still waiting for the final agreement to come in. So be watching for that in your packets over the next couple of months at a regular meetings. I'm sorry. Dennis, could you talk about Melcher, please?
Yes, I will. So just getting my screen back up here. I closed out the agenda. So the Melcher pump station, we are in design. We are prepared to go out to bid. It is a little bit more than we have in the budget. So that is going to be part of the June 24th budget amendment that Director Crawford will be providing. So is there any questions about the Melcher pump station?
Yeah, when you say that we're slightly out of budget, are you talking 10%, 20%?
I don't have the exact details. Let me take a quick look here. If you'll just give me a moment here. And I shouldn't use the word slight ever, so I apologize. One moment, I'm almost there.
Eric, I'm sure you know the power is back on here.
Ah, my daughter already, she called me
Yeah,
asking when it's gonna be back on, and I checked my phone. I said, should be back on right now. That's what it
that's,
said.
yeah, it's funny. I just got a note across my screen that says your internet connection is unstable. That's usually due to the wind or electrical.
And also we lost power roughly right after I texted you that article.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and you saw the one, didn't you, about the, what I was talking about with the letter? I
I
assumed
did.
everybody received it. Not
Yes.
just in McCormick Woods, but the city.
Yeah.
Talking about that. I thought that was interesting.
So I have the numbers up here, and I did speak poorly. It's significant. So current available budget for the project is $407,900. There's an additional need of $532,100 to make the project fully funded. And this is an approximate. This is not the final number. Noah will provide that later, but it looks like the total project budget will be about $940,000.
So that's over double. Is there a reason that's jumped up?
I don't have that clarification today. And if
Okay.
Jackie's able to get back on, she might be able to provide some additional insight.
Yeah,
I mean, that's, go
I
ahead,
got-
Jackie.
control now. I believe it's because of the inflation of everything. It took us longer to get the plan, the project design longer than we anticipated. And of course, when this project was first conceived of, that was back in like 2020 or 21. And so the cost of everything has just gone astronomical.
Any questions on that, Heidi or Eric?
No.
No.
And,
It's kind of a big jump, as we all know, but it's good that we
Yeah.
have some rationale.
and I'll be,
We also ended up having to do a bunch of changes to the electrical that we didn't anticipate.
Okay.
and I'll provide some optimism. It does appear, as we were prepared to go out to bid, there is quite a bit of interest. So the more competition will help, hopefully, with those prices.
Okay, I'll go with the optimism, Dennis.
All right.
Water system plan?
Well, as I said, we are working on the water system plan. This is an update to the water system plan to push our water system approval for the Port Orchard system individually, the McCormick system individually, and the combined systems if we get there during the life of this plan, which is 10 years. So we're looking for approval through 2029 or possibly 2030, depending on what Department of Health does when they review it. And we anticipate having the final draft of the plan for us to do one last review before submission by the end of, actually by the end of next week. And once we have that, then we will come to you for not tentative, what's it called? I have it written down here, just a second. For conditional approval of the water system plan. It's kind of a catch-22. We have to have your approval of the plan before the state can approve the plan, but yet the state will make comments and have to have changes to the plan. So what we do is a conditional approval through you. Once the state is satisfied and we've got a final document, then you will do your final approval of the plan.
And that will come to us on the 25th?
I'm hoping.
Okay, because we no, it's August where we only have one meeting. Never mind.
It's August. It might be in July because it takes so long to get things legal and whatnot, so.
Quick question on that.
Yeah,
Where I asked about the water delivery projections, is that with and without Foster? In other words, two different scenarios or just one scenario?
well, the chapter, I believe it's chapter 4 analyzes the water rights. And so the way they've written it is that we have applied for Foster and here's what it will be.
Okay. All right, general sewer plan.
Well, the general sewer plan has kind of been languishing a bit. We've been working on other things in the sewer in the sewer system and had them busy with other things, but we're trying to get that back on track, and I'm looking for, I'm waiting for, comments from staff on 2 of the chapters right now, and then we're gonna start moving again on it.
Is there any due date for that, or is that just, I mean, with state or DOE, or is that just internal?
Well, we did, the last full-blown general sewer plan was done in 2016. So if you look at it that way, the plans are generally for 10 years, so we're bumping our heads. But we did a kind of a mini plan in 2020 where we looked at only Basin 7, or the area around Sydney and Sedgwick.
Right.
And so we bought ourselves some time by doing that. But yeah, we need to, within the next year, have this plan done.
Anything, Dennis, you want to add to the Marina Lift Station? You gave us a brief at the SAC meeting.
Just that it's progressing. We're just a few weeks behind schedule. We did run into the delay when we did the intertie and the bypass because of that thrust block. I'm sorry, I'm using the word intertie, but the bypass pumping that we had to do when we encountered that thrust block set us back a bit, but things are progressing. There has been consistent pours for the dry well pit. I shared the time-lapse camera footage earlier, and I think I'm gonna try to do a social media post so the community understands that. I think that would be good visual for them to see that project. So we've been trying to get that camera up for some time, and it's finally working.
I don't know whether for next meeting or stuff, and this is maybe a suggestion, don't take it as diction. It would be almost nice to have a drone shot into the area where they've been digging.
Cool.
We have the best drone pilot in Kitsap County on staff, and so we'll try to get that. You'd like to see that at the next meeting?
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to see. I mean, we're kind of looking at it from a level ground area, and it'd be interesting to see. It's a big pit, I get it, but
No, I think that'd be really nice to look at that.
Okay. Maybe I can do it during director's comments next regular meeting at the council level.
Yeah, we don't, it's not an emergency.
Okay, no, that's easy to do.
We're visual people. Okay, next item is fluoridation. Jackie, I'm going to ask you to kind of monitor this this discussion, if that'd be okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. We had a discussion, we tabled it last time, both information that was provided, some additional information that came out in the packet this time, was also the free and reduced lunch numbers for students in the South Kitsap city, actually the city, with the exception of they did include Sunny Slope, which is not tied into the city water at fluoridation. I'm going to go ahead, and Heidi, if you want to make your case.
Oh, sure.
Taking
Thanks.
this to the work study.
Yes, that's great. Yes, and I still have, I will give you a lot of oh gosh, through the computer. So it, like, all the city council members can have this. Right now, it's still, the fluoride can still give you health problems like arthritis, increased risk of bones. Now, this is excessive, and I know our water system is moderated. I mean, we don't have that much, but even it says on toothpaste, if a little kid swallows a little bit, that is a neurotoxin, and just a little bit of fluoride hurts the human body, the consumption of it. And then I have just a couple little things I just want to read. Following the NRC review, evidence has accumulated that the developing human brain is inherently much more susceptible to the injury from neurotoxin agents such as fluoride, and this rather than in adult brains. So when children are growing up, they are getting too much fluoride. And one thing I have right here, who would have ever thought boiled water would be bad for you if you have fluoridated water? If you boil your water, the fluoride in there turns even a higher level. And I have something right here that I will read for it. And then, and before I read this, I find it kind of interesting that a part of our city doesn't even have to deal with fluoride water, and that's all of McCormick. But yet our city has it, and we don't even have a choice. I wouldn't even known that our water was fluoridated unless I was on this committee. And I think most of the people in this city don't even know that. And it is a toxic, and it is a I don't think it's very good for the body. And especially now that I found out this new proof in scientific facts about boiled water, even raises it even more, that why we're putting it in our water. And we should have the choice of if we want fluoridated water, where not only are we drinking it, but we're bathing in it, and our skin is soaking it up. And when you put fluoride, a long time ago, back in 70 years ago, we didn't have much proof in thinking that it was, bad for you. But you think about, you drink this fluoridated water, and maybe you're drinking juice with fluoridate in it. Or maybe a mother buys her baby formula, not really realizing fluoride is in it. And then she's taking tap water and putting more fluoride in it. And so I just feel like this is a toxic that we should not have on our water filter. It should just not be there. And so here's this one study that I found about boiled water. And it says, the importance of this study lies in the facts that fluoride is a chemical that, when consumed in excess, can lead to serious health concerns, particularly in children. This is why many communities have opted out for water fluoridation programs, which add controlled and supposedly safe levels of fluoride to their water supply. However, if boiling water increases the fluoride consumption, it raises concerns about water fluoridation programs. Is it that effective and safety? This brings up the question of why fluoridate continues to be added to drinking water, given the limited evidence of its excessiveness in reducing tooth decay and potential health concerns. The Cochrane Collaboration, a respected research organization, has conducted several analyses on the benefits of fluoride in drinking water. Their findings suggest that there is no significant difference in tooth decay rates between communities with fluoridated water and those without it. Moreover, while there was a reduced in tooth decay rates let me just read that sentence over. I'm so sorry. Their findings suggest that there is no significant difference in tooth decay rates between communities with fluoridated water and those without. Moreover, while there was a reduction in tooth decay rates, the effect was modest and the quality of evidence was low. So these findings suggest that the benefits of water fluoridation programs may have been overestimated. It also raises concern that the increased concentration of fluoride in boiled water may contribute to excess fluoride consumption, leading to advanced health outcomes. And so, doing more research, I just feel that we are just putting it in our water. We don't need this neurotoxin in our water, because it's not good for the brain. It's not good for us, our bodies, and we can have, maybe not right away, but you can have slow-term effects from the fluoride. And what I find really interesting is one size fits all. So we have, in our water, you have this percentage of fluoride, but that's the percentage of a baby, a toddler, a young adult, and adults. So how can fluoride be one size fits all? And especially if you're, maybe drinking more fluoride and putting, other things with it. I think it's just too much. And what helps the teeth is not drinking fluoride. What helps the teeth is making sure you're not having a bunch of bacteria in your teeth that causes tooth decay or the cavity. So I am opposed of the fluoride in our drinking water. And, we have 3 city council members that live in McCormick Woods that they don't have to even deal with it. So
But,
I'm bringing
no-
this up for the community.
Okay, that's fine. Anything else you want to add before I move on?
No, I think that's
Yeah.
it.
Okay, Eric, would you like to weigh in?
I don't feel as strongly as Heidi does. I respect her greatly, but I don't feel as strong as she does. If we want to bring it to a work study, I'm totally down. I'm totally down for that.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to
Forget-
vote on that in a minute, so, it's a
Oh, to
question.
To bring
Yeah.
it to a work study? Okay.
Yeah, okay. So, a couple of points. Do you have anything else you want to add, Eric?
No.
Okay,
No,
Couple points, reason-
not on this topic. I don't know.
well, it's our last topic, so.
Okay. We have a good of the order though, correct?
Yes, we do, but I asked, we have time. So McCormick doesn't have it because we're cross-tied with Bremerton.
I
So we're
know,
not able to fluoride our water.
correct.
As we continue to use the word constituents, the people in McCormick Woods would like their water fluoridated.
We
Uh,
don't know that. We don't know that everyone would.
Everyone is, I didn't say everyone. There's a
Right.
good portion that would like it fluoridated. If they had for their kids. We have the information from the CDC. I'm not going to read all the pages. We have the information from the ADA. I talked to 2 dentists. Both of them were incredulous that we would even decide this. And you would think that, quite frankly, dentists would want the fluoridated gone so they would get more business. Seattle just had a major concern with the amount of kids that are not going to the dentist, even though they have fluoridated water there. And they are looking at, obviously, they're not even bringing that up. I would, if we want to take it to a work study, it's going to be by vote. And quite frankly, this is not a topic that I feel that needs to go to the council at this time, but that's me. So Heidi, you would like to take it to the council work study?
Yeah, well, and one thing is chlorine can evaporate from a glass.
You mean
Fluoride cannot evaporate. And the
okay,
only,
you-
like,
I was just
certain
asking for a
filters-
yes or a no, Heidi,
oh,
not-
well,
not
yes.
additional
And-
comments.
Okay, well, just a minute now.
Okay,
Now you
sure.
said, yes, of course I want to take it to a vote.
That's-
And then here's
Well, no, it's
another
not a-
one.
It's a vote here about taking
Uh-huh.
it to a work study. That's all I was asking for.
Oh, well, yes, I want to take it. Yeah, absolutely.
you.
Because I have more evidence that it's
That's-
not good for you,
You'll be able to bring it to the, you'll be able to bring it to the
Sure,
work study. then.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
vote to bring it to the work study and she can
Okay,
provide it to the
then I'll
council.
be the declining vote and I'll pass that on to the mayor that he can put it on the schedule when we have work study. Obviously, we don't have one this month.
Right.
So, okay. Anything for the good of the order, Eric? You said you had one.
I do. This is, might be for Director Dennis as well. I was curious, maybe some future council meetings, because stormwater is, can you hear me? Stormwater is a utility, and we don't really discuss that or cover it during our meetings. Maybe if there's an update of future, what's planned for future projects, if there is future LID, water quality, if we've replaced so many culverts, like along Sydney right now, or Pottery, the projects that we're doing, if we're replacing culverts, maybe just some asset updates on things that we've done, just add that to the list. I'm not trying to fill a schedule, but stormwater is a utility, and we are going to start implementing, I believe, this month, the rate increase,
June 1st. Yeah.
June 1st.
Yes.
So I think it'd be pretty important, valuable to include those in our utility meetings, a little more stormwater talk. What do you think?
Can I respond?
Yeah.
Because I had to get an order and it ties so much into this. So,
Okay, perfect.
he's not a panelist, but in attendance is Jeff Hegland, who is our operations manager. And with Jackie's departure and a reorganization, Jeff Hegland is becoming our operations and utility manager.
Okay.
We just successfully recruited and filled the internal candidate for the operations supervisor. We are getting ready to interview for internal utility supervisor. We have our first time, effective the 16th, we have our first time ever stormwater lead worker. Utilities has, I call it everywhere you are, it's the forgotten utility. It doesn't get the attention that it needs. I can tell you that our group that is working on it with our our illicit discharge, they're coming together really well and they prioritize it and they've seen some great stuff that they've done. We are moving ahead with implementing the stormwater component of Cartograph as soon as we're done with the sewer, which we are about to go into the sandbox with Cartograph. So all of our, Jeff can't get on here and I've been in other meetings, but I believe all of our sewer assets are just about all uploaded. Storm is our number 2 priority. It's going in before the water system. So we are prioritizing that. And I do want to engage this group more with the stormwater utility.
Yeah, it's trust me, I definitely think that you're making it a priority. I just want to be able to implement it, discuss it more at a utility meeting.
Yep.
Just so when these rate increases are coming out, people know that, you know, we're replacing this culvert pipe, or we have the possible mitigation stormwater park or something like that. Just to add it to it. That's all, you know.
And if I could make a suggestion for this utility committee, I would suggest that we cover all 3 utilities in the meeting, even if there's nothing new to cover.
Just mention it each
Just
time.
to have a topic, yes.
Yeah. So that's all I have.
Cool.
That.
Add it to the agenda items then. Anything else for the good of the order? Woohoo. All right. See everybody at 6:30.
Drive safe. Get here.
Always.
Bye.
Bye, thanks.
Thanks, everybody. Are we done recording?
We're done recording.
Are we off?